All right. It is Friday, February 26th, and I'm going to call the special meeting of the Hemet City Council to order. Can we have a roll call?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Krupa?
Here.
Councilmember Lilienthal?
Here.
Councilmember Russ Brown?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Males?
Here. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Very excited. Mayor Meyer?
Here.
Okay, Mayor, for the record, all council members are present today.
All right. If we can stand, we will have our invocation by Councilmember Lilienthal, and then Russ Brown will lead us in the pledge.
Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for being in our presence. We thank you for this moment that we're able to gather together. I'm so happy that everyone woke up today and that we get to celebrate another day and enjoy another day. Be in our midst and guide us as we set priorities for the city. We thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please face the flag, right hand over your heart, and say the pledge along with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First, we will start with communication from the public. It's my understanding we have no e-comments. Is that correct? That's correct?
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay. And then do we have anyone present in the audience that wanted to speak? No speaker slips? Okay. And then anyone on the Zoom call that would like to make public comment?
Yes, Mayor, we have 3 individuals that are on the Zoom. We'll go ahead and allow the first individual who's got the phone number 909-997-1902. If they would like to speak, I'll go ahead and ask them to speak. They've been asked to unmute their line. So it doesn't appear that they would like to speak. I'll move on to the next individual, and I've got someone by the name of Hemet Police. If they would like to speak, I will go ahead and allow them to speak. I've got one last individual by the name of Jeff Davis. Jeff, if you would like to speak, go ahead and speak.
Hi, this is Jeff Davis. I'm a captain at the police department and president of the Hemet Police Management Association. Once again, thank you, council, for taking up the strategic plan for the city. It's an overdue process, and we're very excited about this continuing.
Okay, great. Seeing that we have no more public comment, then we will move on to our council priorities session number 2. I passed out notebooks. They're available at the front of the table if anybody wants them. But our first item that we have is our mission and purpose statement. And it's not necessarily all just a mission and purpose statement, and we'll get to that. The first 3, and I apologize, I did not get page numbers on here, I see. The first 3 pages of this is broken down into categories. We have a vision, we have mission and purpose, we have values, and we have goals. And what we tried to do is combine all the input. And in this notebook, let me explain, each one has a category. The very last pages in this notebook that says notes from section 1, these are actually just literally typed out raw data from the notepads in the back that we had written down, so that you can see that things were combined. There were a lot of duplicate items or said in a certain way. So even though they are combined in the different pages. If there's something that you think is missing or is not emphasized how you like, make sure you bring that up. I tried to keep these items not too in the weeds as far as details, because I know we talked about specific intersections and things like that. So I didn't include those names in the strategic planning part of this, but more generic, you understand? So as we have different issues, we can obviously communicate with the city manager on specific problems. So on the vision, mission statement, goals, and the values. There are options on the mission statement that we kind of combined. I did not give options on all the different things, so if there's things that are missing, again, this is a discussion for us to have. I am a little more simplistic, and I just was thinking that a statement was sufficient. Councilmember Lilienthal is going to explain. He had other ideas, and so I'm flexible.
So looking at, I'm looking at other models around the world and around other cities and even in the United States, and I see that they'll have a vision statement, a mission statement, some values, and some goals. That's kind of like what I've seen, and it looks like the vision. It looks like because it's like we could simplify this and just leave it like just only a mission statement on the website or wherever it would be, but I'd like to be thorough. So the mission statement is pretty much, at least how I'm viewing it, is simply our mission for the valley, and then the vision is like what it's going to look like. So the vision and mission are broad views of the goals and values, and so values are how we get to the goals, and the goals are just the end game. So we set these goals, this is where I want to go. The values is how I'm going to get there. So values could look like, on an individual level, values could look like determined, loyalty, so the goal is to stay married or something like that. But the value you have in order to stay married or to meet that goal is to be loyal, right? So that's why I would like it differentiated and not just having just a mission statement. I'd like to have the vision so that we can set out, so people could kind of, when they read it, they can envision what it would look like. And then the mission statement is how we're going to get there. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the vision we have, combining everyone's ideas and things, is the city of Hemet shall be a model of excellence in local government, safe, well-planned community with equal opportunity for all. That encompasses like what it's going to look like, so you can close your eyes and you can envision something like that. Does that make sense? So then, but for the mission statement, we have a couple that we can pick from. We had them put together so that we can work together and choose from them. So the first one says, the city of Hemet aims to be a destination of opportunity for the social and economic development of all residents, businesses, and visitors of the city. Hemet, the destination of opportunity. The second one reads, the city of Hemet will provide effective leadership and policy direction that preserves, protects, and enhances the quality of life and opportunities for residents, businesses, and visitors to thrive. Hemet, thrive here. The city of Hemet will be a destination of opportunity and empowerment for its residents, businesses, and visitors by capitalizing opportunity, striving for growth, and promoting diversity and respect for each member of our community. Hemet, empowerment starts here. The City of Hemet strives to empower and enhance each of its stakeholders with effective leadership and policy direction that secures a safe and desirable environment for the benefit of all residents, businesses, and visitors. How do those sound? Which one do you guys think we should go with? Or should we combine others?
Well, let's do everything first. Let's do everything next.
Well, let's rate the mission statement. If
I like the first one.
anyone else like the first one?
Everybody go through and put your 1, 2, 3, and 4 there. Yeah, 4 is the best, all the way down to 1. So,
Okay, so let's rate from 4 to 1, with 4 being the best and 1 being the worst.
War's the best.
Yes.
that's okay. All right, you guys need more time? You have all those done? A few more minutes? A few more minutes? You got them? You got them? Joe, do you need more time? Okay. A few more minutes. Just so you all know, we engaged Erica Murphy, one of our staff members, on helping with some of the wording on these, and so we were able to give her a lot of our list, and so Erica helped make some of these. So even once we pick one, we'll go back and talk about it, and then we can submit it again. She's a great wordsmith. You want to do that, or want me to? I'll write them down, you talk.
Right, what?
Their numbers. So just start with Linda and then have her go and tell her which one is which. Let me do
Okay,
it.
so Linda, which one do you have for number 1? Or just tell me tell me your numbers.
Just the numbers going.
Just go straight down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 4, 2, 3, 1.
Okay, 4231, Malcolm.
I have 1342.
Okay, I have 2341. Russ?
I have 2413.
Awesome. Joe?
31248.
Okay, we'll tally these up.
Those votes represented diversity, right?
Right?
Of opinion.
So funny.
The third one seems to have the most.
Yeah. Okay, so our tallies are 12, 13, 14, 11. So it looks like the third one is the highest. So if you look at the third one, and if you go back, each one of you, go back and kind of like circle some of the things in the other ones that you liked, and we can have it brought back to us. You understand? So
For me, it was the empowerment word in number 3.
okay.
I like that empowerment word.
I really like number 2 also, and the wording in it. But, I mean, it says the same thing, but it's just, yeah, it seems a little stronger. I don't know. But if there's other wording that you like in other ones, here, Russ.
What I picked out that I thought is important to include in our mission statement, remembering that this is the city council mission statement. Oh, it's for the whole city. Oh, okay. Well, I was saying that, and I was thinking with the mindset that this is the city council mission statement. And so I thought it was important to include leadership and policy direction. But if this is just a mission statement for the entire city, I probably need to rethink. So let me give some more thought to that.
The key word for me was in the first one, opportunity.
Destination of opportunity?
Yes, I like destination of opportunity. I think opportunity to me is actually more important than empowerment.
And they work hand in hand, really.
They do work hand in hand. You can be empowered, but if you don't have the opportunity to go forward on it.
So what if we take that whole statement, that last italicized, and move that down to number 3? I think that would kind of, you guys think that that's okay?
And you could add both in that, empowerment and
Well, and it already
opportunity.
has empowerment in the sentence above,
It's here.
so I'm like,
But
it
I
might be
think
more inclusive.
Opportunity is something that people look at. Is there something tangible or intangible in this community that will allow me the opportunity to do something on my own to benefit myself, my family, the community, that type of thing. So I think opportunity is very important.
And it makes it more personal.
Number 3 has
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
destination
It
of
does,
opportunity.
capitalizing opportunity.
And
Yeah. I just
into that, Mike.
Yeah, when it was in the italics, it jumps out where it says Hemet, the destination of opportunity.
I see.
so then, what if we added in the italicized part at the end of number 3, Hemet, could we add opportunity and empowerment, and that's
How about empowerment and opportunity starts here?
yeah.
saying that is where empowerment and opportunity starts.
Right. Okay, Russ. He's the word crafter too. You better say that into the mic because nobody can hear you.
So just another way of phrasing that would be Hemet, where empowerment and opportunity starts. Yeah, I think
Agree with that one?
Yeah, my numbering is way off because I was looking at it through a different paradigm. So, which one did you say tallied up? The third one? I think, and I know that one's actually the longest of all of them, so.
We just made it longer.
Yeah, and there's another one that, terminology that was in number 2 that to me is important, that we are preserving, protecting, and enhancing quality of life. So I don't know if we can fold that into the third one or not, but I'm still okay. If the third one is the most popular, I'm okay with that.
I just, on number 4, I just don't like the part about, I'm just being honest here. I just, when we have safe on 4, being safe, our city at this point, I don't believe is as safe as we would like it, so I wouldn't want to put that in there. But everything else we talked about is perfect. It's good.
We're looking forward.
I'm sorry?
We're looking forward.
We're looking forward to making it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well.
We have work to do. That's why we're working today.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Right? All right. Does anybody in the hell have anything else on this? Our whole purpose today, now we're not going to vote on this today because there's not a final document. So once this is completed today, our entire thing, we can give it back to staff and they'll make it look pretty, and then we'll approve it at a regular council meeting. All right. If we go into values, Malcolm.
So on the values, we're not going to vote on which one of these. I like all these bullet points, but we could reword them so that when someone goes onto the website and reads, they know what the city of Hemet values. So the first one says, we believe in honest, open, as a representative, democratic form of government. We are dedicated to the highest ideals of honor and integrity in order to merit the respect, trust, and confidence of the citizens of Hemet. We believe our primary responsibility is to those who live, work, visit, or otherwise come in contact with our city. We are committed to enhancing the quality of life by providing exemplary services. We believe that the employees of the city are its most important resource, and through them our mission and vision will be accomplished. We will support them with dignity, respect, and fairness. We believe that planning, training, and teamwork will fulfill our mission and vision for the furtherance of the city of Hemet. How's that for a declaration?
Okay, but this then goes back that these are the values of the council, not necessarily the community, because we're talking about that we believe the employees are the most important resource resource, but quite frankly, the citizens, am I on? Just hold it closer. Okay. Where do you want me to start?
No,
Just
just so everybody hears you.
That, to me, it sounds like this then is a value statement of the city council, not necessarily a value statement for the city.
Okay, let me answer that first. So, as leaders of our community, the city council sets the vision for the city.
Right.
So, we can say city council, we can say city, it's all semantics, because we are setting for what we believe. So, if you don't want to say the most important, we can say it's an important resource.
Well, it's kind of twofold on that. I mean, if you're looking at the city council as, quote, the city as the employer of its staff, absolutely, the staff is the most important part of the, quote, city structure. But if you're looking at the community as the city, then the residents are the most important part.
No, I understand what you're saying. I agree. So I think we need to add a
We need to
citizens.
somehow encompass that and make that point, that
Yep.
the employees working together, they're absolutely the glue that is going to hold everything together.
But it takes all.
It takes everybody, and it
Yeah.
just depends on exactly how you're looking at it at that particular time.
So we need to add in a whole bullet point
Residents.
addressing the residents and the citizens of our city.
Take out who live here, or those who live, work, just say to those, to our citizens who work with, or work visit otherwise or something.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm taking notes, and then we will get it written up. Keep going, Russ.
In my opinion, I think, now that I understand that the mission statement is the mission statement of the city, not the council, I think it's important that the city council present its value statement and identify it as such, that as a city council, these are our values. And I think it'll take any ambiguity out of what the bullet points say if we just say, as the city council, we recognize that we are the policy body and the leadership body, and in fulfilling that role, these are our values. You know, something.
We are, so us, when we end up voting on these, we will be approving them as the city council. But as leaders of our city, we are setting goals and values for our entire city, not just for the five of us. And so I think on a leadership level and a broader scope, that's what we're looking at. What you're saying is still the case because we are the ones that are setting them.
Okay.
But I want you to make sure that we have all the values on here that we want. You understand what I mean? So, like Linda brought up, that we need to have citizens on here. So we'll craft that and get it back to everyone.
Okay. Just.
You may think of things after today, so don't feel like it's like do or die today. This is a living document.
We have homework.
It's okay. It's okay. We kind of went through all of the brainstorming that was on the boards and came up with things that included everyone's thoughts. But this has to be a thorough process, and so if it needs more time, it needs more time.
I'm not sure about the very first bullet where it says we believe in honest, open, as a representative democratic form of government.
Well, that's just the definition of what the United States government is. So that's not any magical term, but
we need to work on the semantics there, because it seems awkward to me the way it's written.
Strike as a.
Yeah.
Wording
You took out as a. That would.
Okay.
And I would I would almost like to suggest that the second part of that, where it says we are dedicated to the highest, I would make that a separate bullet, standalone. Because some of the other ones speak to the first part of the bullet, but this one doesn't, and I think it should be called out as a separate one.
Okay.
We should include what Russ was saying about, because it is part of our values, even though he's restating what we're doing, it is part of our values that we, whatever he said earlier.
Like the city council stands behind it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll add a city council bullet. How about that?
Sure. That would do it.
Like it.
Russ, do you have any ideas right now?
Well, I'm just looking at some notes that I have from our first session value statement to see if there's anything that I had here that's not in this. And I'll just throw these out just to capture it. One of them is adherence to applicable laws and governing documents. Transparency of decision-making and governance. And where's the other one? I think the other ones that I have in here are incorporated in some fashion, so those are the only ones that I had from last session that I didn't see in there.
So maybe we could change, in the first one, we believe in honest, all that, to his adhere to applicable laws.
Well, I think he likes that bullet point. He just wants to make it a separate. He might just
No, like switch it out.
Well, I think he likes that. He only wants to read it. We'll have it.
Okay. And then we could also add the transparency one at the bottom. Does that sound good, Russ?
Yeah, so we're just looking here real quick. One of the value statements that I had from last session was we value pride, creativity, innovation, participation, and teamwork. And I think that would apply if we're talking about the entire community, that's something that we value and appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back and recap this. We're going, on the first one, we're going to rework the wording on the first sentence, make an additional bullet for the second sentence, possibly, or combining it with some of Russ's. And then we'll add citizens' values and include pride, creativity, participation, and teamwork. And then a city council, kind of like a commitment also, including what Russ said about adherence to government documents, applicable laws, transparency, and decision-making and governance. We'll add that into a sentence. Yeah, more
Just-
additions?
Just a comment on that, because the fourth bullet point now talks about planning, training, and teamwork. Maybe with the citizens and the other things that Russ added, that could all be streamlined into the last bullet point because it is the planning, training, and teamwork. I mean, that is a combination of everybody. And that involvement with the community could be the best summation for the last sentence as a community as a whole.
Yeah, and I think the word collaborative probably encompasses several of those words that I put in there, so we might want to just think of it using collaborative and eliminating some of the other words.
So then we can move on to goals. This would be the end game for the city. So the first one reads, to improve the quality of life by addressing the root causes of crime, to promote economic development that increase citizen access to quality jobs while increasing the city's tax base, to manage the city's growth by protecting and preserving the environment and maximizing the use of public infrastructure, to improve the city's image by preserving and enhancing the community's aesthetic beauty and natural assets, and by building upon the rich and diverse cultural heritage of the community, to support the success of the community by maximizing our resources, to provide the greatest possible benefit for the citizens of the city of Hemet.
I have one addition for you. And that's in the second bullet point. To promote economic development that increase citizens' access to quality jobs and quality shopping while increasing the city's tax base. We have to have shopping. I'm sorry, I've campaigned on shopping.
Stated like a true shopaholic.
Exactly. And I really don't like to shop, but the end result of shopping is the tax base that the city can do improvements with. So there you go.
Does anyone want to add any, or are we? I'm not hearing any objections on this one. Yeah. This is just a working document.
And it's very good. I'm impressed. Should I say that louder? I'm impressed.
Okay. That's good.
All right, we're going to move on to ongoing priorities on the next page. And what we tried to do is combine our notes again from the first meeting and organizing them into categories. Linda, you'll see on page 2 is the environmental sustainability, maintaining our tree city. So that one's done. So the reason that this is on a table, and I'm going to pass out, can I give you guys these? Okay, so I think that you have just a black and white copy of this exact same thing. And so the purpose of this black and white copy is just so that we can do the same type of voting. And so I want to, let's just do the first 2 pages, and I guess the second one's done. But I want you to rate your favorites. So there are 5 in the first category, so make your best 5, 5 points, and then down to 1, okay? The next one, there's 6. So if we just take some time, read through this, and maybe even before we get there, well, let's just do this first. We'll rate them, and then we can go through and discuss them. Yes, Wes?
Just for clarification, the high number is your favorite.
The high number is your favorite. So there's 5 on the first, 6 on the second. And we're doing this to put our priorities in place so that staff has clear direction. Also, keep in mind the ongoing priority list is something that is already in place, but we would like to continue. So we just want to put our priorities there. All right, Linda, do you want to give me your numbers?
Yeah. In the first area, organization effectiveness, I look at these and some of them just kind of run into the other, because if you've got that, and that will run in, and that will make that possible. And, but anyway, so in having to choose 1 through 5, with 5 being the highest, well, let me just read the numbers going down the list. I have 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. All right, perfect.
And keep in mind, these are already in place, but just so staff knows what's important to us.
And I look at it, it's like, okay, but, all right, so we do this, that makes that one now kind
Right.
of, it's not relevant anymore because it actually encompasses and it makes that one more possible, so.
Right.
But yes, based on those.
They all build, right? But and it's hard to prioritize these. But the other ones, the strategic part will be even harder. I promise. I looked at them, I'm like, oh dear. And if you, as we're going through these too, like I said, we're trying to keep only, like, in some of them, on the notes, there were certain topics that were in 2 or 3 categories.
Right.
So if in doubt, we moved it into the strategic plan. So if you see something that should be in one, or you think it's the same as something else, make sure you note that, because we really do want each one thing in only one category. Okay.
So for organizational, so I have 2, 1, 5, 3, 4. And then 6, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3.
I didn't go down there. You want me to go down there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, on the engaged community, I have 2, 6, 3, 1, 4, 5.
Okay, on the first section, I have 3, 4, 2, 1, 5. And on the second, I have 6, 5, 3, 1, 4, 2.
Okay, and the organizational effectiveness, I have 4, 3, 1, 2, 5. And I made a margin note that the third bullet and the last bullet could be combined. And so
Okay.
so it's really, the financial stability is the highest priority in my mind, and just incorporating the third bullet. It's not that that's not important, but it ended up number 1 since
Right.
I had to fill in the box. Under engaged community, I have 6, 4, 3, 1, 2, 5.
Perfect.
Now, this is of importance down, or the most
Yeah.
important. Okay, right. Under organization effectiveness, I have 3, and then I go down to 5, and then 2, 1, and then 4. Under engaged community, I have 1, 5, 6, 3, 4, and 2.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to tally these up real fast.
Malcolm,
Yes.
I didn't get yours on the bottom.
6, 2, 4, 5, 1.
Thank you.
If you guys want to go take a quick bathroom break, we'll like 5 minutes. I'll tally these up. You can go get a refill on your coffee and be right back. We'll make it real quick. All right. We had a tie here, but let's go down to organizational effectiveness. Let me just give you the totals, if you're taking notes. 14, 14, 13, 11, 23. That's awesome. Okay, and then on the next section, it's 21, 22, 19, 11, 15, and 17.
Can I get a recount on the first one?
It's 14, 14, 13, 11, and 23. Now, Russ was mentioning that we could combine, you said 3 and 5. Is everyone okay with that?
And it's still definitely,
I think it definitely.
it definitely continues to make it the most important things.
Yes, makes it the most important. Okay, so if we combined these two, that will make number 1. Let's see. Use this marker here. We've got a 1. So number 3 and 5 will be number 1. Obviously. Then we have 2 number 2s, infrastructure maintenance plans, technology, the use of technology. I mean, they are equally important, so we'll just put those both next, and Chris will know that they're both important, right? Okay, so let's see here. I'll just put them both as number 2s. How about that? And then 3 will be the consistent operating guidelines. Okay, and then on the next one, number 1 is disseminate community updates with positive messaging. Number 2, staying in touch with community members, addressing their concerns, gathering input, and responding in a timely manner. Number 3, promote community participation that is inclusive and enhancing our diversity. We want to make sure we include all of our community members. Number 4, solution-based community engagement with positive reinforcement. Number 5, continue to increase online access to public information. Number 6, encourage community gatherings to discuss ideas openly. Obviously, with COVID, that'll be as it permits. Probably why I got a number 6. All right. Does anyone else have any comments on these, changes, additions, anything? And then we have the next page. Maintain our Tree City USA. Obviously, got a number 1. Okay. All right, moving on to an exciting category, strategic priorities. So these are the items that we see as needing attention, needing immediate attention, and the ongoing are things that we will continue to do. These need attention and need to be addressed. So,
Carly,
yes,
can I just make a comment? And I'm
yes,
sorry.
nope.
It really has nothing to do with environmental sustainability. But when we mention our Tree City USA, it didn't come up last time, I don't think, and that's our active military banner program along Florida Avenue.
Okay.
And I've noticed my daughter's banner is no longer up. And we worked very diligently with Post 53 to get that program established so that we could recognize and honor our active military. So I think that needs to be added as a priority because since Caltrans screwed up Florida Avenue, and yes, I did say that out loud, we need to, the program itself has, I don't know where all the banners are, but my daughter's is not up. And we need to look at working with the school district. At one point, we had a discussion with them that we would work collaboratively on a dual banner program that graduating seniors could be put on some of the poles closer to the high schools to honor them, and they would, it would be a collective program with, then they would print our banners for the military if we would help them put up the high school seniors. So we really need to look at that again and see if we can get it. And like I said, Post 53 was very helpful in collecting money and doing fundraisers for those parents that could not afford the $110 or $115 to get a banner for their child.
Okay. So we'll rename this, and we'll add the active military banner program, and then I'll just put on their high school seniors, and we can look into the banner program.
Yeah, that would be wonderful, because, I mean, it
already have it in place. We just
we
need
have
to...
it in place. It's just kind of dropped off the wayside.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, seniors have to be honored too.
Perfect. Thank you. Those are the kinds of things that, you know, we're going to... There's another one that you'll see in here that I added it'll be on the next, in a page or two, but people bring them up, and we've even talked about things, and then you'll say, oh, we didn't add this to the list, so we want to make sure that we do that. Okay, safe community is the next section. There are 17 in this category, so if you start at 17, let's just What's on the next page? Oh, those are added in there too. Oh, crap.
Okay, so put on, put this as 15, 16, 17.
Perfect. And then you can start working on the next section.
Okay.
While I tally these. You guys can work on the next, yeah, you already did your next one. Gotta make sure you have the welcome on the safety, sort of 16 way everything. Also, Now, when you get to future priorities, it's up to you if you want to prioritize these or not, but since these are just a list of us for the future, this will be more for a reference for us as we make plans and complete our strategic planning. So some of these are duplicated depending on the state, county, or local, because, you know, like Linda said, they all work hand in hand. Don't feel, that one's a little bit different. So if you want to move on to the policy one when you're done with that. All right, you guys, I have these tallied up. So first we have a safe community. And I'm just going to go down, and if you guys want to write down the totals.
Which one are we on?
A safe community. I'll give you the totals so that you can write them down on your column. Okay. First it is 61, then 47, 33, 39, 11, 51, 21, 42, 60, 44, 42, 49, 47, 34, next page, 82, 48, and 50. So, at the first place, reduce blight, cleanliness, public dedication. Number 2, address homeless and solutions to enhance enforcement. Number 3, safe business districts. Number 4, increase neighborhood safety cleanups and resources to chronic neighborhood disinvestment. Okay, number 5 is new ideas, trends for addressing quality of life issues. Number 6, drug and crime enforcement, identify and monitor known areas. Number 7, measure you plan, progress, future strategy. There's 2 number 8s, regulate cannabis activity, solve crime with technology, lighting, cameras, noise deterrent, etc. Number 9 is police enforcement events, DUI, traffic collision reduction, and distracted drivers. Number 10, traffic enforcement. Number 11, graffiti removal, preventative products, and cost recovery plan. 12, increase our public safety employees with problem-solving innovation. 13, implement EMD program for fire response and or equivalent priority call system. 14, police and fire community events. 15, support and improve mental health services. And that is all, because there were some duplicates. There were some double ups. Organizational enhancement, the next section. And before we move on, is there any comments that anyone has on, if anybody had any notes on safe community under that category? Here.
Let's see, which one was it? Oh, yeah, the bullet that says support and improve mental health services. You know, I rated that the least important priority, but not because I felt it's not important, but it's outside the scope of city services, in my opinion. That, you know, we don't have our own city health department. We don't have our own city mental health. We get those services through the county, and I know that a mental health representative is part of our come on, brain. Our ROCKS team incorporates that, but it's not really something. So I was really torn on how to mark that. It's very important nationwide, but is it something that we can, you know, it's outside of our circle of influence?
And I think part of it is, it may be, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, with us partnering with the county, maybe there's opportunity for more partnering, and so, who knows, but yeah, I agree.
So I
absolutely agree.
I just wanted to clarify, that's why I marked it the least important. Mm-hmm. It's not that it isn't, it's just not within, in my mind,
because we don't provide the service, right.
Okay.
I was speaking with a gentleman that owns a business over here off of Lyon in Florida, and he's in the mental business profession, and right now his facility is for the elderly. And when I spoke with him, he told me if we had the homeless, if we had the capabilities for the homeless to have a living area, you know, an address, that he would be able to help them. And he's local, and he gets funded through the state, and that's why I put that as number 2, because we have the availability there if we wanted it. But he says he can't work with any of them without them having a permanent address. So that's why I put number 2 on that.
So I think that there are people in the valley willing. And so it goes back to the collaboration and making sure that we're just utilizing all of our resources.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's excellent. Good points.
Hey, Chris, is it out of the scope for the city when it comes to safe business districts? Is it weird if the districts could celebrate, I don't know what districts means, but I'm thinking of like a small, where a bunch of stores are. If they could celebrate, it's been safe here. You know what I mean? Like if someone's driving I don't know if that's weird, like, you know, because people go and see, like, this is a safe district to shop in or something like that. It almost makes the different districts compete with each other to make sure that they're the safest.
And a little bit of what we've compared this to, other cities, and maybe they're larger cities, but you know how we have our landscape and lighting districts? We have our, and there are areas that there's different areas, and they're all segments or sections. If we have our businesses in sections, I mean, it could be building up, and Chris can come up with ideas, but it would be working together in your group, just kind of like neighborhoods, helping with safety, working with the police, working with, you know, addressing graffiti issues and trash issues, but then it kind of gives them a support group, you know? So I think that maybe our city manager has other ideas, but if we put this on as a priority, then he can come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And include the positive that you're talking about.
It really comes down to, as the mayor said, developing what those concepts are and then bringing them back to council, because that, as the mayor alluded to, you know, there's some PBID type of concepts that are in there with respect to dollars that can be raised within districts. There's different concepts about, you know, building that collaboration. So it's just a matter of putting the strategic objectives or those concepts to those items that the council has prioritized. So it's really just bringing that back once we've had a chance to put some ideas and pen to paper.
Yeah, and I also wanted to make mention that the reason that I rated regulate cannabis activity as the highest priority as I went through that is because if we don't take charge of that, somebody else will. And we've made put a lot of effort into getting a competing initiative on the ballot that was successful, but there's no guarantee that we won't have to face that dilemma all over again. So that's why I set that as the highest priority in all of these. That we just need to get control of it before somebody else tells us what we're going to have to do.
Yes, I agree. We need to regulate that. They're running rampant. Okay, then moving on to organizational enhancements. So these are more items inside of our organization. I'll go down the list with your totals. 24, 18, 18, 20, 27, 29, 25, 29, 32. Okay, so number one, we have our evaluate code enforcement process efficiency and effectiveness. Number two, utilize legal services to reduce liability and loopholes in legal documents and contracts. There is another number two, grant writer for identified projects. Item number three in the placement is marketing, messaging, and of Hemet as a positive place to live and work. Number four, review of ordinances, municipal codes to ensure no gaps. Number five, staff training to enhance public, there's a typo, and engagement and job proficiency. Number six, out from state auditor scrutiny. There's two number sevens, research and respond to planning trends and issues, promote and strengthen improvement projects. And that's all we have on that from the duplicates. Are there any comments, additions that you guys want to make? Looks good. Okay, next is economic vitality. We have 4 in here. Some of them, again, are a little close in definition. Chris will have fun with those. Okay, we have 15, 8, 11, and 16. So 1 and 2 is the bottom one and the top one, and those are very much alike, and so I'm sorry for not catching that duplicate when I was typing all this up. But that's 1 and 2, so we can combine those, I suppose. Same. And then we have number 3, work with businesses to keep them stable. Number 4, increase housing options. All right. Any comments? Anyone? All right. Partnering and collaboration. Here's your totals. 24, 18, 17, 30, 11, 14, 26. And as we go through these, I know that this is, again, like we did not name street names. We had, in our previous conversation, had actually identified certain people, and I didn't want to exclude any one group, so I just left by definition instead of naming anyone specifically. So, okay, first one, economic growth. Number 2, leverage partnerships and collaboration on solutions to enhance quality of life services. Number 3, business support. Number 4, youth support. Number 5, senior community developments. Number 6, clean and safe recreation options. Number 7, invest in our culture. All right, and then the last, staff development. Our totals are 12, 7, 17, and 14. So our first one is adequate administrative staff. Number 2, staff retention, appreciation, recognition, motivation, training, adequate staffing to reduce fatigue and burnout that is seen by the public. Number 3, training. Number 4, employee longevity appreciation. There's appreciation again. Committee anniversary dates, picnics. Those are kind of the same.
Yeah, I think the second and fourth bullet are pretty much the same.
Yes. Yeah. I looked at this too long. Okay. I was too concerned about not excluding somebody's comments, and so then it ends up like this.
If I could just add to that.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at it, and if you take administrative away from adequate staff, if you have adequate staff and training, you're going to have the longevity and the appreciation and
your whole circle.
So I mean,
Yes.
all of that really just becomes one circle that you can't have one without the other. So absolutely.
Definitely. Okay, on future priorities. I want you to let's look at the state, and we didn't categorize these, but if there's any that you think need clarification or we need to strike or define, I want you to just talk about these if you want to. Okay.
I'll just talk about one of them on the future priorities that has the airport expansion. And we could probably take that off as far, I mean, it's a county facility inside the city limits of Hemet that is constrained, let's put it this way, by city streets development and the MSHCP. So we have looked numerous times at, in collaboration with the county, on how we could expand the runways to have additional larger airplanes come in and that type of thing. And we can't go west, we can't go east, can't go north, and can't go south. So it's kind of a constrained thing, but it can be, it could be expanded as a business and private commuting and recreational. And that's kind of what it is now. We've got CAL FIRE attack planes out there, which we definitely need to keep, because it's so imperative to our valley to have firefighting apparatus with the airplanes out there. And some of the recreational activity is coming back. So while the physical expansion will never happen, we can look at it as a business expansion and encourage the county to make improvements, but we can also encourage businesses that like to fly in and out, their corporate jets. It's big enough to land corporate jets and to take off and that type of thing. So that type of expansion could definitely be something that we could have an influence on.
So you're saying, since we don't have jurisdiction necessarily, we would just be, they may not even bring it to a vote to us. This will be totally up to them.
Yeah, the county manages it. Airport Land Use Commission, that I'm an alternate on, does determination of what types of businesses can go in the airport area and around it. So they have impact on that, and we have impact on that. We have a voice, but we don't have a vote.
Yeah,
So what about?
We could be an advocate.
We can be an advocate, absolutely. I'm just saying.
I think that's where I see us fitting in.
The physical expansion will not happen unless the MSHCP goes away and we can get rid of Warren Road, which probably isn't going to happen either.
On many of these, and when I decided the categories in like state, county, and city, we have impact. Right. And so I think having airport expansion on here, like it doesn't matter to me if we take it on or leave it, but I'm thinking like if they are ever trying to expand, they could actually pull our document and say, hey, they're in support of this. Yeah. So, and I think I don't know if that's a good thing for them or.
Is it addressed in our general plan? I think, and I
believe so.
I think it is too. I think it's addressed in our general plan, and I know the county airport has a new general plan that they just approved in 2020, which talks about the business expansion. And maybe we should clarify that portion, that airport business expansion opportunities or something like that, because like I said, I doubt very seriously if the MSHCP is going to go around or go away. And all of the land on the east side that could be for airport runway expansion is actually endangered species area. And then we have Costin on our side and Hemet West on the north and houses on the south. So.
And I look, even the Route 79 realignment, it's like we don't get to decide that.
No, we have a voice. And we can influence.
So that's why I feel like some of the things on here, like the flood and natural disaster preparedness, we would work with the county and we would be able to have our own. Exactly. But then there's other transportation. Somebody brought up transportation in and out of the valley, and working with Caltrans on things. So. You look at these items more of, are we as a council in support of these? Because we don't necessarily have jurisdiction over them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. Malcolm, do you need this? Nothing? Okay. Okay, then the last section is our policy priorities. Let me give you the totals on these first. The first section, policy priority affecting city departments. The totals are 19, 20, 9, 26, 25 and then 26, 22, and 19. So, that's the very, very last page.
Very last page.
We're going to go over those one more time. This is the top section again. It's a 19, 20, 9, 25, 26, 22, 19. Okay, so number 1 is priority-based budgeting. Number 2, staff incorporates city values into all decisions. Number 3, internal service fees. Number 4, investment policy. Number 5, council protocol. Well, that one's almost done. I can't wait till we can start checking these off. I feel like there's some that are in progress that we're about there. So, number 6, look into pay for performance. Okay, and then the next section is policy. Did I get all these? Oh, there was 2 number 5s. There's 2 number 5s. No segregation of Measure U expenses. Policy priority affecting city business. So these numbers are 13, 9, 13, and 15. So number 1 is funding OPEB, alternatives to CalPERS. 2 number 2s, remove red tape for new businesses, infrastructure commission process for traffic issues. And then number 3 is commissioner appointment policy. And is that in your council protocols? Or no?
Yes, there's.
Oh, good.
It's addressed in part, and then I think we have an ordinance that addresses the rest of it.
Perfect. Okay. I was just wondering. Okay, does anybody have any comments on these items? Okay, so I will make sure that everyone gets a copy of. I'll just reorder them in the proper order. I know you all took notes, but at least you can have this in an organized fashion. From today, we will bring this back to a council meeting for approval. So if you have any items that you need to add or anything, just let Chris know, and then we can make sure we can note those if there's any changes at the council meeting. But I think that I think our priorities for Chris are important. I think for staff, and then this should help us. It's good timing for the budget process. So I look forward to seeing what you put together from all this. We did the hard part. Oh no, I think we did the easy part.
Mayor, I just want to thank you and Councilmember Lilienthal for taking the leadership of organizing the discussion or the previous discussion, all of the input from the first one. I know how much time it took. I know you were working late last night on organizing everything, so I just wanted to thank you, Councilmember Lilienthal, and then the rest of the council really for having a very good discussion. I've noted to almost every single one of you individually just how effective some of these discussions have been and how collaborative and positive these discussions have been. So I just want everybody to know that publicly, that I really do appreciate everything that you've put into this, so thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully we can keep this up. As the staff gets their plans together and they bring back proposals to meet the things that we've asked for, we can have regular updates. And even if we have roundtables like this, and if you, Chris, if you end up wanting to have staff come back and address things, if you want to do it this way and have more of a workshop, then I think it's a real good, it's a healthy conversation. So, absolutely. Awesome. All right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say this face to face with all of you, that first to thank you for allowing me to not be at council the other night and to pulling the Measure U interviews and appointments. That was very important to me, and I thank you for doing that. And I was very quiet about this going forward, but since Tuesday, I've decided I'm going to shout this from the mountaintops because it's important. And those that you don't know, I had breast cancer surgery on Tuesday, and I am here. My prognosis is excellent, but it's so important to as women, to do our self-exams and get our mammograms done, and for men, remind your loved ones that it's so important. We tend to put COVID in front of everything, and 1 in 4 women get breast cancer. That is the statistic that is absolutely astounding. I was talking with Cindy, and we were looking in the room. There were 5 women in here. Well, I've got breast cancer. And it's one of those things that really hits. I was in shock when I found out, because my sister had breast cancer, so there was no way I could get it, right? Surprise. It does happen, so and men, be aware, get your screenings done, take care of yourselves. It is so important. I announced this yesterday at a RTA meeting, and I was so surprised that, there was absolutely an outpouring of caring and thanking me for being vocal about it, not only from the women, but the men. They're saying, thank you for saying that, because it's so important that we get the word out. Breast cancer is a killer, but it doesn't have to be. Early detection, early treatment. I'm going to survive. There's no question in my mind. I will survive. But early detection is the key. And I have not gotten my letter yet for my January mammogram when I found the lump. So take care. Just please, all of you, just be very, very aware. Get your tests, get your screenings. And I am just, praise God, I'm here. So you have to put up with me.
Thank you, and
so thank you.
We will be, and you let us know if you need something.
Absolutely.
And we will be flexible so that we can get our business done and include you.
Appreciate that very much.
Awesome. All right, with that, our meeting is adjourned.